Hi guys! In this video, I will show you how I created this realistic 3D alarm clock scene in Blender. First, I designed reference images for each part of the alarm clock separately. This helps me understand the shapes better and makes the modeling process much easier.
Next, I imported the reference image into Blender and started modeling the main body of the clock. I began with a simple circle mesh and used a basic extruding method to build the shape. Using this simple, basic modeling technique, I created most of the body parts of the clock. Once all the individual pieces were modeled, I carefully positioned them and joined everything together to build the complete alarm clock. Next comes the texturing process. For most of the clock body, I used a simple metal shader with an old metal texture applied using projection mapping. Since many parts share the same surface material, I reused the same shader across multiple parts. This keeps the workflow simple and consistent. For specific parts, like the clock face where the time appears, I used a separate shader and applied a single image texture using Project from View mapping. Finally, I added a glass shader for the front cover of the clock. After finishing the shading process, the model looks like this. For the ground, I used two of my forest ground scan models. Because this scene is a close-up shot, I decided not to use displacement shaders. I tested them before, but they didn't look very good for this type of close-up render. That's why I used my scanned forest ground assets instead, which gave much better detail. For the lighting, I used a simple forest HDRI map and positioned the clock at the perfect camera angle. To enhance the scene further, I added a spotlight with a gobo texture. This creates more natural lighting variation and adds extra realism to the render. Lastly, I added a small camera animation to give the scene a bit of motion and make the final render feel more alive. After some post-color grading, here's the final result.
You can download the project assets, the 2 forest ground scans, and my other project files for my Patreon to support my work. Please like this video and subscribe to the channel for more Blender tutorials. Thanks for watching.